Good evening, everybody. Welcome to an episode of Change Starts With Us, Ohio. Today we have Candace Sanchez, or Candace Rocket Rhodes, our president, with us. And if you hear any little noises in the background, she's got like 9 kids there, so you're going to have to forgive her for that. They can't always stay quiet. That's just the way kids are. Okay, Candace, today's topic is going to be the family members does the time with the inmate, or as we want to call it, actually residents. They send the money in. They get the calls, order the food, clothing boxes, help out with legal fees, and so on. Share a little bit about everything you're going through as a wife of an inmate.
Hi, everyone. It's Candace. Thanks, James, for having me on tonight. Just getting into that topic a little bit. I think a lot of us can relate to this topic tonight because so many of us have loved ones that is incarcerated. Putting money on, that means taking away from our family that is here at home. With the holidays and birthdays and just bills all around the board, it's always a difficult time when prices are so high. Commissary, it seems like they never can get enough of what they need, or at times they don't have what they need. Along with food boxes and clothes and shoes to make sure they are able to have the proper things they need. And some of those people inside that are incarcerated don't have loved ones that, can help them out with these things. So unfortunately, they go without. It's been pretty difficult with my loved one inside because I have so many kids, and I have been doing it on my own since he has been incarcerated. So it's been pretty rough, but we're hanging in there, and we never lose faith of what's going to happen. We know that soon enough he will be home with us.
Right. Well, let's talk about some of the prices over the years that have changed. I got locked up in '87. A ramen noodle soup was 3 cents. And now it's like 50 cents for one package.
Right.
A bottle of pop, which at that time we got Coke, we had the bottles, we paid 50 cents for them. Now it's $1.75.
And the hard thing is that they never put, you never have nutritious things that they can get. It's all, really poor diet that they have to survive on. And, with them being a ward of the state, they should, the states, they should definitely give these people a variety of things to be able to pick and choose from. And every single thing that they seem to be able to get is high in sodium, especially with the ramen noodles. They are not good for these people, especially consuming them every single day.
I think that's what led to my heart disease was the ramen noodle soups. When you have two, 3, or 4 a day, and then you put that salt pack in there, then you put chips in there, summer sausage, and so forth.
Everything is so high in the sodium.
Right.
And then these prisoners, the ones that do get to come home, they leave from that institution, and their body's just all messed up from the years that the system has put on them.
Right.
It's a very, very sad situation. You would think with as much money as the prisons get from everyone's loved ones, they would be able to get some proper food to the people.
Right. It's just the family is the one that's actually being punished, and they did not commit a crime, and then you got those that are totally innocent, that the family members still are being treated like they're criminals. I would like to talk a little bit about how they restricted your visiting that one time.
Yeah, I think that happens in not that exact situation, but I think that the staff members target people, people that have, some different charges. I think that they target these people, the ones that are having issues already. They target these people and they try to make it as hard as possible for them.
Right.
My visitations were canceled for life. I was told that I would never be able to step on ODRC property ever again. And that was very challenging for me, having a son that is 1 year old. And for the sentence that my husband got, the only thing that I could think about was how would my son be able to, visit his father? How would I keep him, how would I be able to get my son to recognize my husband's face without these visits or anything like that? That was my main concern. So I did what I had to do, and I took the proper steps. I was able to get somebody else on board, and they did investigate, and I was able to get my visits back. But the staff, they play a dirty game, and if you do not know the right people, and if you don't know what you're doing, believe me when I tell you, they will win.
Right. And it was kind of it was when we had our protest up at Lebanon. It was nice to see you actually at work, getting things done. Something that I probably wouldn't have been able to get done. You were aggressive but firm, and you were able to get the State Highway Patrol to do a wellness check. You got us a little spot out there like you will be doing for the Chillicothe one tomorrow.
When we were there in Lebanon, like I fought for my loved one, I would do that for each and every one of your guys' loved ones, just because of what was done there. Was a horrible, tragic thing that was happening inside of that institution, and I would do that for anyone else, not only for my loved one. It was just, I had to do what I had to do to let them know that what they were doing was unacceptable.
Yeah, and it was, and he was, we were able to get him moved. I don't know if that was us or not. I think with us pushing, I think that helped with him getting moved out of that institution. The sad.
I think they kind of got tired of us pushing as much. I don't think that anybody has ever went up against Lebanon.
Well, the thing too is your husband has always fought, claimed his innocence all the way through trial and stuff, and the staff members of the prisons still treat them like they're guilty just because the state said they are. And they're not.
And the sad thing is every time I talk about these things with people being innocent in the prisons, is that it's not like this is we're in 2020. There are people that have been exonerated, and that they are living proof that the system is flawed, that innocent people do go to jail, that they do go to prison, that they spend decades behind bars for crimes that they never committed. And I think with as many as people that have been exonerated today, not only the staff, but I think our governors, I think the president, I think every single person that carries a badge or is some kind of authority figure, they know what is going on. So I think that they should definitely weigh on the side of caution when people are claiming innocence, and especially for decades at a time.
Well, I think it's kind of scary and upsetting that our governor said if you file for clemency or early release, if you're convicted of a sex offense or a murder, you're not going to get it. What if they're innocent, or what if they have changed? So he's discriminating, and he's going to let out people that come back and back and back constantly, the drug offenders, the dealers that are taking people's lives. And, of course, we don't judge or anything, but we're just stating that the governor needs to be fair.
I definitely agree. No matter what the charge charges, whether it's a sex offense, murder, kidnapping, whatever the charge, drug offense, it doesn't matter. The nature of the crime, it doesn't matter anything about that. If you're claiming innocence, I definitely agree with you there. I think that they should all be treated fairly.
Yeah, and let's get to this question. Yeah. Let's get to this question. Your husband was given, I think, something like 30 to life. That is really unfair because we know he's innocent. But are you ready for the long haul?
I'm definitely ready for the long haul. If I wasn't, I wouldn't have dragged my kids through it.
I knew you were going to say that. And you know, people that are innocent, they need the loved ones' support. Even if they're guilty, they need the loved ones to support, not to support the crime, but support them as people. And a lot of these guys don't even get Christmas cards. And that's one thing I'd like to do this Candace this November is let's get a couple boxes of Christmas cards. Let's pick people to send them Christmas cards.
Last year, me and my family, we have 9 kids total. And my mother-in-law, she has 3 that, we do everything together. So there's a total of 11 kids. And every single year, we make sure my husband, we send him Christmas cards. We never miss a holiday, a birthday, anniversary, not one thing. We even celebrate his parents' birthdays with him. We make sure we send him, letters on JPay, videos of the celebration, my sons or the kids blowing out his own birthday candles. We always do that because I think that, after you're in there for so long, they kind of feel like, they're lost in the system, and we don't want my husband to ever feel like that. We don't want anyone's loved ones to ever feel like that. And last year was our first year doing this, but we got on a couple of the group pages, and we found some people from the UK, from different places that we were able to send cards to, and we got some response from the families back from that, and they were just so happy that we were able to do that. And my daughters got involved. It was something that touched a part of them in a very special way. Before my husband had been incarcerated, my daughter wanted to be an immigration attorney. Now that she sees me fighting for my husband and she sees all of the corruption going on in the criminal justice system, she now wants to be a criminal attorney. She wants to be an attorney that fights for people that is innocent. And I have spoken to her several times about the Innocence Project, and she's just so fascinated with all of the hard work that they do. It's such an amazing gift to be able to see them, my children, transition into, these young teenagers, and to be able to talk with them about what they want to become in the future, and see that, they're opening their eyes and they're able to realize what is going on in our world today.
Right. Well, I would like to set a date in November where we get several people together at my house, sign cards, send them off. Say Rocco picks 5 people from there. Each board member picks 5 people, and then some of the people some of the people that we have worked with were sent to their loved ones as well. I think can your daughters make the Christmas cards?
Yeah, I'm sure that we can.
That would be fun for them, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. They really enjoyed, we had like a whole stack at the kitchen, and we were just going through cards, and we were finding different quotes that we could put in there, just so people could feel that they are cared about and they're not forgotten. No,
it's kind of neat how your kids have been part of helping Rocco out, which also teaches them not to judge people for their past. And I think, it's how they're raised.
Those that know my husband knows that he struggled before we got together. He lived a fast life, but he was able to become this extraordinary person. and change for the better to be able to be the husband that I needed him to be, the father that his own kids needed him to be, and the father that the other 7 kids needed him to be. And, we're very proud of him, and there are so many other people that has made this huge change in life, just like Rocco has. And we couldn't be more proud of every single one of those people. But, he is the one that has got us on board to this because, he's not alone, and we're not going to leave him alone. He knows that we are here to fight. And at the beginning of this, we only started the fight for Rocco. We wanted to bring him home, but now we have become to an understanding that it's going to take us a little bit longer than we thought, but we're never going to give up. And now it's not only about him; it's about the system and the corruption that's going on, from the judges to the prosecutors to the investigators. Every single one of those, it comes from the top up. Not only our attorneys are they doing something wrong, it comes all the way from the top, and that is what we are in it for. We're out here, to bring awareness on what is going on in our criminal justice system.
Right, and there's a lots and lots of work. Now, getting to Rocco, what is the biggest change that you have seen in his life?
Oh, goodness. There's so many changes that he's made. I try to tell my daughters and my kids, all of our kids, not to judge people. That's the biggest thing. Do not judge people, because Rocco has a past. He struggled, with drugs, and he struggled with different things, but he was able to overcome that. He was able to become a better person, a better father, a better husband, a better friend. He was able to do all of that. And I can't push them enough not to judge people, because you know what? Nobody knows what that person is dealing with when they go home at night. Are they crying themselves to sleep? Or, are they, wishing that they, and praying that they don't commit suicide? Nobody really knows, but everybody has a story. And I think that if we go head on and, we try not to judge, and we just look at every person as we look at ourselves, I think that is what will get us, further in life. And that's what I try to push to let my kids understand. But they see him as an extraordinary human being, just like I do, because they have seen the change that he's been through, and it's amazing.
Right, and of course, you're the one that stuck up for me during the fall from grace, if you would call it that. That was the hardest time for me to go through, reading the remarks on the news. One lady told me to hang myself. I mean, I was reading through some of the remarks, and finally I just said, screw it, I'm not going to read them anymore.
I think people automatically judge people, James. I think just because the nature of the crime, I think the name, the title of a crime, I think people judge people. But what we really have to look at is how somebody got to doing what they did.
Right.
Why has somebody done this? People automatically say, oh, he's a sick person or this or that. Why did that person become like this? Why is it? And, and they don't look at and see that people can change.
Right.
I have seen a change in very many people, and that is why I stood up for what I thought was right, and that is what I want my children to do.
Right.
I want them to stand up for what they believe in and what is right.
And, of course, you really didn't have a choice as president. But and you really don't have a choice if you're going to resign or not. I already told you that too. But I think for the
every single one of you guys to know that I'm in this for the long haul.
Right.
Change Starts With Us started out as 3 people fighting for the same thing. We all wanted the same thing, and we kind of went for it. But I think that Change Starts With Us Ohio has become something fascinating.
Right.
A lot of people know who we are now, and they know that we're out to make a change.
Right.
So,
well, we're going to be just like Fair Treatment, which I was very proud of that group. We started off with myself, then handpicked the board. And I tell you, at one point, we had thousands following us. And we'll be right back up there. It's not one person or anything like that, but it's a mission that they need to follow. And
I agree, and I think hard work and dedication and the people that we have, we keep moving forward, we're going to be pretty awesome.
Right, and of course, I want to read what the mission is, and then the values. But this is a really a simple mission, and I believe Karen helped us with this. It says to bring awareness through education, advocacy of those wrongfully convicted, while fighting for those incarcerated to ensure their voices are heard. That's awesome there. And then our values are we strive to treat all people with dignity and fairness in an honest and moral manner. And that includes we don't judge. That's if I sit there and judge somebody else, they're going to come back right on me again. And I know some horrible cases, but you never know. For one, if they're guilty, you don't know what happened. I will not support a crime, but I support inmates or residents, I should say. And our goal is not to just release people. So, okay, what were you saying?
And I think that there's a lot of advocate groups out there working on different things, and I think there's some pretty extraordinary groups out there and organizations that are doing their thing, and I give them a round of applause because I have seen some work that they're doing, and I truly believe that with so many people and so many organizations right now working for the same cause, fighting for that and moving forward, I think the change is coming. But I think it's going to take a lot more than what we're all doing. I think we need to go for, changing laws. We definitely need to get on board with every single person voting. We need to vote these people out that's not on our side, that believes that the death penalty is okay, killing people. How is people going to prison for murder, but yet our states, is killing these men and women? They're sentencing them to death, and then they're killing them. That's not okay.
Or
touch base on.
Right. Or my own party says they're pro-life. All life is valuable from the moment of conception to natural death, but then they come and put a needle in somebody's arm and say goodbye to them. Could you just imagine, and I've talked to these guys on death row, my friends, could you imagine knowing you're going to wake up the next morning and being put to death?
I couldn't imagine something like that. And when I think about that and what society is doing right now, I think about the 9 children that I'm raising. And I think about, somebody could make a lie up on one of my sons. Somebody could put one of my sons away in prison, and they could be sentenced to death. I cannot stop thinking about those horrible thoughts because, we never thought we'd be facing something like this ever in our life. And now we're dealing with it.
What would you say to
It could be one of our kids.
Yeah. What advice would you give to a mother that is going through the same thing you are now that's in the court system and their son claims innocence or their daughter? What advice would you give them?
Reach out to the people you think is most knowledgeable. Get as much information. Investigate. Do the investigation yourself. Do everything you can to get all of the knowledge you can before you start something, because we went into this, trying to get the best attorneys, and it ultimately didn't help us. I think that we need to start pointing these people in the direction that we think is best, because if not, a lot of people are going to lose time, lose money, and it's all going to be for nothing.
Right.
So I definitely think we need to be more knowledgeable. Start doing research. Start figuring out, what your best game plan is before you go and jump into anything.
Right. And now I'm going to ask you another question. We've been asking, and we've done probably about 80 videos in the last couple months now, and everyone that we believed is innocence, we asked the person, how can people help you? Can they help you financially? Can they help you with legal fees? Or if an attorney's watching, do you need an attorney? What does Rocco need right now?
Oh, right now, he needs somebody that is knowledgeable. He needs an attorney that is willing to fight like it's their life. That's what he needs. He needs somebody that is going to sit down and go through every shred of paperwork that we're able to provide them and look through every single thing and see the flaws that were made and look at the evidence and be able to see that he is innocent. Because every single thing, when he went to trial, there was absolutely no medical, no forensic, no DNA, absolutely no evidence against him. Only his statement.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember hearing about that, and I tell you, I could be fooled once in a while, but I do believe Rocco is innocent, folks. And he's one person that needs to come home to his family, along with Jerry's son, Delisa's son. Oh boy, I can't name
so
every.
Many others.
Yeah,
So many
others, right? But we spent.
I myself collected every shred of evidence on this case of my husband, and I'm still, doing that to this day. And that's what I want to tell every single one of you guys fighting for an innocent loved one out there. Do not stop. Do not be afraid to get what you need to bring your loved one home.
Right. The investigating would be through the transcript, right?
Excuse me?
Would the investigation be through the transcripts or?
Oh, well, it's through everything. The transcripts, anything that you think could be valuable. Even if you don't think it's something big, it could be something huge at the end. You never know, but you just have to keep digging every single thing that you think you need to save it. Put it on a flash drive. Keep every bit of evidence that you have.
Right. Well, and if there's
I truly have so much, that could possibly bring Rocco home. I just need an attorney. I just need an attorney to get with me so I can show them the proof that Rocco's innocent.
Right, and that would be very helpful, folks. And Candace, give our business phone number. I know 614-507 something.
1 second.
Okay.
It's 614-507-4593.
Okay, and the phone's in Candace's hands. And if there's any of the watch the videos. If you'd like to help with any, but please share this video right now. We're way up on the shares, the views. We just got our thing from YouTube that we're in the top 10 this last month. I'm not sure how that happened, but it's not that I'm so good looking though. So it must be the people that we have interviewed on. I think the stories, and it's not stories really, it's the truth being told by so many people. And we need to get their stories out. We need the news media to catch on. And I'm going to start, sending the videos to different news broadcasts, Innocence Project attorneys. And I want them to really listen to it to see if there's anybody that would be willing to help. And most of these people don't have money, folks, so we need a pro bono for it. Candace, they're out of money. The mother had to gave up her house to fight for her son. That's how they know he's innocent. So please come forward.
We've definitely lost a lot, and especially, people that have absolutely nothing starting out. We were blessed by the grace of God to be able to have some support behind us. But like I said, every single one of those funds or every single one of those avenues, they come to a slow, closing when it comes to money. So be very cautious of how you use your money when you're just starting out.
Right. How has your faith played a role in your everyday life?
If I didn't have my faith, I don't know where me and my kids would be today, because before we started this, we were in hold on. Before all of this happened, we lived in a house with a backyard. We had a basement. We had, everything, a pool in our backyard. Everything that our kids needed, they had. When my husband was accused of this, we had to move into a smaller place, and we ultimately ended up in a one-bedroom while my husband first went to prison, in a one-bedroom with 7 children.
Wow.
9, half the time of the week. And now we are back into a home that, my kids have a space in. I was 7 months pregnant, and I prayed to God every single day. My kids, we read the Bible together. It has just, if it wasn't for our faith, we would definitely not be where we are today, because, it brought a whole family to my family that was able to help us with so much, and they have become more like family to us than anybody else. They have, to this day, we still see each other.
Right.
We celebrate birthdays together. It's just been, it's by the grace of God, we now have a family that we can call home.
Right.
In a home that we can call home.
I think one of the Bible verses that kind of sums you up would be Romans 8:28, that says, "We know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to their purpose, His purpose." I mean, and the more I read that, and I remember before I got locked up, a pastor from a Baptist church told me to memorize that verse, and of course I thought he was joking, and I really didn't. Then one day I picked up the Bible and I started reading it, and I started memorizing verses like I did as a kid. I was full of hate for so long, because of things that happened to me as a kid, and I had to learn how to forgive. And even with what's happening with Rocco right now, which is very much of an unjust, it is so important to forgive those that have lied on us and pray that the truth will come out someday. And I'm not going to talk about, who did what in your case. I mean, we know. And we're going to do an interview this weekend with you and whatever Rocco's mom's name is, Deb. But I wanted to touch base today because he's a guy that I personally would fight for, because I do believe he's innocent. And he does have a family that loves him.
Even today, it breaks his heart every single day, because he's actually been like a mother and a father to his 2 oldest children. They've lived with him and his mother since they was little boys. And it breaks his heart knowing that if my son is going on 2 years old and he's missed out on his first of everything. But he still smiles and he still laughs, and he has told me many times before, I forgive those people that have done this to me. It's a damn shame that I had to come to prison, for my family to become whole, for you guys to get very close to each other. But I forgive them.
I think this is a learning experience that maybe God's at work in this whole thing. I believe He is.
Me too, because you know what? Me and Rocco have known each other for over a decade, and when we first had got together, our lives were 2 different lives, and we lived 2 different ways. So our children, grew up differently, and it was kind of hard to merge our family before. But with him going to prison, our children are closer than they have ever been before. It just brought our family together, and it has made us stronger than ever before. So,
right.
I mean, I believe everything happens for a reason. Our eyes are open, and we're ready to move forward. We just have to see what God has in store for us.
Yeah, and one thing I do like what's been happening recently is bringing awareness on the prosecution that our friend from Cleveland is helping with. That if everybody was honest, your husband would not be in there today.
That's right.
I blame the prosecutors on that. I blame the judge for sentencing, especially when they said no. When they said nothing happened.
Even the detectives never once followed up with where my husband was working or anything like that. They also went to somebody that was already on probation. They didn't go to that person directly. They went to his probation officer and had that probation officer contact the person, and that's how he was intimidated to get involved in the whole situation.
Right.
These investigators, they're very sneaky, and they will do whatever they have to do with alongside of those prosecutors to make a case.
Right. Well, yeah. I would like to get people to watch us live Saturday night around. What do you think, about 7:30 for you and Debbie?
Let me get with her and see what the best time is or
okay.
the best day is. But I will definitely get back with you on that.
Okay, then I want to do a segment next week, basically on prosecutors. Because if we could really crack down on where the point is and get some laws changed that judges and prosecutors can be sued. Right now they're exempt. We need to change that policy. So, and let's not sit around, Candace. We got work to do. Your husband's counting on you. Of course, I'm counting on you. You know that. And I'm old enough to be her grandfather. No, actually, I'm older than your mother, so almost by 10 years. So.
Oh Lord, that's okay.
Not really, because I go in the store and some bratty kid says, "Hey, pops," and I tell him, if I'm your pops, I can run faster than you. I mean, I get pissed off. Especially when I sneeze or something, there goes my teeth flying through the room. So.
Oh goodness.
But
well, everybody will go through that. Not only you, so not to worry.
Yeah. Well, I think tonight was actually a very good dialogue. What we are going to do when you and Debbie does it, we're going to promote it in the messenger there and get people to watch live. And if there's any questions you don't feel comfortable with, just say you pass, or I won't bring it up. But most of the questions are going to be basic, though. And I already know a lot of stuff they ask. How do you know Rocco's innocent? We all know how we know that. Nobody in your family was ever hurt, So.
That's right. Nobody in my family. And there was 9 kids. So I definitely know. And there's other ways I could explain. But like you said, we're going to go into a little bit more because there's a million ways I can tell you guys and show you guys that he is innocent.
Right. And I encourage people to watch because I really want to get people involved and say, let me help out. Even if, Candace, I want you to set up some kind of a fund where people can donate, to help out with Rocco as well. And then, we'll post underneath the video when we do the video with them. Because when you talk about attorneys, you talk about easily $20,000 to $30,000. My dad spent over $50,000, and my bond was only $2,000. So they said I was not a threat to society. Now all of a sudden they say I am. So I'm kind of lost, but but now I see.
People can talk and they're going to say whatever they want. So you just keep moving forward, looking forward, and know you're doing the right thing.
And if you'd like to contact Candace, her email is changestartswithusohiocandace@gmail.com. Again, that is changestartswithusohiocandace@gmail.com. Our website is www.changestartswithusohio.org. If you'd like to make a financial donation, you can do it through our website, or you can do it. I have a fundraiser going on Facebook. My good friend right there that's watching is our biggest donor, and we really appreciate it. And we're going to continue to fight for your loved ones. Okay, Candace, say bye to everybody. Okay, you there, Candace?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, it kind of cut out.
Okay, we're closing up for now, but you know, we appreciate you being on. She's the hardest working president because I bug her. I tell you, this is how dedicated I am to find out, to pick her mind on work. The day I almost died, I'm talking to her on the video. I was too busy about the group. The day I woke up, I called her. And that's when the nurse took the phone from me. So, but we have a hardworking president, and we have a hardworking board. My friend that's watching is a hardworking person that works with us from Cleveland. So we're getting a great team. Okay, everybody, have a good night.
Great. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a good night.
Wow, that's the best video I've done.